Good morning and welcome to episode 6 of the JMCSS podcast for the district. I'm Greg Hammond, Chief of Public Information for the Jackson-Madison County School System. I'll be joined today by Principal of East Elementary, Dr. Amanda Brabham. Thank you for being here, Dr. Brabham.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Now, we'll also hop on the virtual bus to check on a pair of JMCSS grads who are participating in band and athletics at the college level. But first, let's do this elementary school spotlight. Congratulations, Dr. Brabham. East Elementary, one of those, we have 16 schools in the Jackson-Madison County school system that are either level 5 or level 4 schools. Mm-hmm. For the folks listening at home, level 5 is the highest level in terms of this academic progress and achievement that the state of Tennessee designates. Your school, Dr. Brabham, East Elementary, is a level 5 school. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You are also a reward school.
Yes.
Put into words for the people at home who aren't academic people, what that means, how significant are those designations, level 5, and then also a reward school?
Okay. Well, those designations are very significant because it not only shows that East Elementary students not only exceeded the state's expectation of their growth, but they also exceeded the state expectation of their student overall academic achievement. So we are super excited about that because it shows that our students are learning and they are growing and they are being successful, and we're excited about that.
And for someone who, even from a very early age, talking before the show, you know, you told me you've always been interested in education.
Yes.
So let me backtrack a little bit, just like I had to do last week. Let me backtrack. Coming out of high school, did you know that you wanted to be an educator?
Yes, I did. There was no other occupation that I wanted to become. I always knew that I wanted to become a teacher, even from a little girl when I was playing school with my dolls and my younger siblings. So yes, I always knew that I wanted to become a teacher because I always liked helping. I always liked serving others and helping other people.
Now, you were the oldest of 5, 6?
Oldest of 6. Wow. Oldest of 6.
So
5
leadership
girls and a boy.
5 leadership was just something that
yes. And my parents put a lot of leadership on me because I was the oldest. I probably didn't like it at the time because if I had to go somewhere, I had to drag other siblings along with me, but it did taught me a lot of responsibility and it did, make me mature faster.
We're visiting with Dr. Amanda Brabham, principal at East Elementary. And I think the first time I met you has been several years ago when I was working at Channel 7. And you were a coach. So I know today you're Dr. Brabham, but correct me if I'm wrong, but there's still some people in the community that call you coach.
Yes, a lot of people in the community still call me coach from my coaching days at JCM. When I'm out and about, if I hear Coach B, then I know it's a student from JCM, which was my first school that I worked at when we first moved here.
Now, I didn't realize, Dr. Brabham, that you've been in the Jackson-Madison County school system for a while.
Yes, for 15 years.
15 years.
Yes.
So talk about that progression, where you started and how you got here.
Okay. I started at JCM as the health and wellness teacher. Then I coached basketball there, of course. From JCM, I went to Parkview Learning Center as the assistant principal. Then from Parkview, I went to Whitehall Pre-K. It's Nova now, but back then it was Whitehall Pre-K.
And if you know the name change, that means you've been around for a while.
Yes, it was Whitehall. And then from Whitehall, I went to Thelma Barker as the assistant principal, and from Thelma Barker to East Elementary. And that's where I am now.
Those transitions, those different steps, how has all that played into how you lead today as a principal at East?
It really formed my leadership. Starting as an assistant principal at Parkview Learning Center with students that needed extra attention and extra love. It showed me that all students can learn if they're given the proper support. And it also taught me that all of our students are worth fighting for. Okay. And then going from Parkview to our babies, to our pre-K babies, that was a vast change, a vast transition. And it was awesome because I only got to see I only not got to see, but the big ones, but also how the little ones operate as well. So yes, it definitely formed how I lead.
Dr. Amanda Brabham is principal at East Elementary. Now, you are a Mississippi native.
Yes, born and raised
So
in Columbus, Mississippi.
So I had to ask, are you an Ole Miss fan or a Mississippi State fan?
Mississippi State fan, Mississippi State. Yes.
And your background, your prior military.
Yes.
Talk about that experience. And I know that experience also impacted your own children, but
Yes.
it was a real benefit.
Yes.
Talk about that transition of paying for college through the military.
Yes. When I was in college, I realized that, hey, I needed to make money in order to continue to pay for college. So I decided to join the military. I joined the Army Reserve. I served 6 years. That experience was awesome because it did teach it helped to form my leadership skills as well. And it also taught me that, in order to have something, you have to work for it. Taught me discipline, and it helped me mature faster.
Now, I know as a high school athlete, you probably thought you knew what discipline was.
Yes.
And then you go to the military and you
Nothing
learn
like it.
it's a different type of discipline.
Nothing like it. But I loved every minute of it because I pride myself in being an organized person anyway. I love structure. I can't operate in chaos. So the military was perfect for me. And I enjoyed my experience there.
I was able to join Dr. King and some other leaders from the district office at East Elementary right before fall break.
Yes.
Because you guys had a high five.
Yes.
Talk about that day.
Yes, I told you we're still celebrating our level 5 and reward suit status. We decided to celebrate our students by inviting our superintendent, Dr. Marlon King, and our central office staff to come in and to give our students high five as they came through the door. That day was dress for success. So our students had on suits and dresses, bow ties, and they were looking very, very good. And as they got off the bus and out of cars, Dr. King and you all gave them high fives, told them congratulations. They were all smiles and they really, really enjoyed it.
Now, someone may be listening on the radio and think, well, that's a simple gesture.
Yes.
But put into words the significance of those, number one, those simple gestures. But then number two, you told us specifically about a student of yours who didn't realize that a man could be a principal simply because all the principals he had seen up until this point or school leaders were women.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yes. We have a kindergartner at East Elementary. He's precious, but he asked my assistant principal, could a boy be a principal? Because he sees me and he sees my assistant principal, who is a female as well.
Yeah.
And of course, we told him, yes, boys can be principals, men can be principals. So what we decided to do was to get him a little bow tie so that he can be principal or acting principal in kindergarten. And he did. And that's what he does even today. And he enjoys it.
Yeah. Knowing you taught at the high school level as well.
Yes.
So you know how impactful a small act like that can be when you think about the trajectory of a young person's life.
Yes. Yes. It's so important. It's important that our students know that they do have people that care about them. I'm a firm believer in that saying, a child doesn't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And we stress that every day at East Elementary. Every student that walks through the door, we greet them. Good morning. Have a great day. And they do the same to us because we want them to know that we're here for them and we are in their corner.
We're visiting with Dr. Amanda Brabham, principal at East Elementary. Her former students call her Coach B. We'll get more into the conversation about East role or as a reward school, and also tell people why East Elementary, it could be considered one of the hidden gems, not only of the school system, but of the community. You're listening to For the District on JJ 97.7 FM. Congratulations to the teachers and students of the Jackson-Madison County School System. JMCSS has been designated a Level 5 school district by the Tennessee Department of Education for significant academic growth in math and English language arts. This, along with an increased focus in the arts and athletics, means there's never been a better time to choose us. Tuition-free. Jackson-Madison County Schools. Visit jmcss.org today to schedule a tour.
Hi, I'm Chloe, a star student at East Elementary. You're watching For the District. Now back to the show.
Welcome back to episode 6 of For the District, the JMCSS podcast. I'm Greg Hammond, Chief of Public Information for the Jackson-Madison County School System. I'm joined today by the principal at East Elementary, the very proud principal at East Elementary, formerly Coach B. Today, she's Dr. Amanda Brabham. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
When we were visiting with you all right before fall break, and I was interviewing you, and one of the things you said that really stuck with me was East is one of the hidden gems. Physically, you're a hidden gem because you're nestled in the north east corner of the county. Talk about what makes East such a hidden gem.
Well, our location one is why I do consider us a hidden gem, but also because East is a school that is a community school where students are just growing and excelling. And if you would ask the average person about East Elementary, they would probably say, where is it? Where is it located? They would not know. Even myself, when I got the job at East Elementary as the principal, I had to Google it to see where it was located.
Although you had been employed in the school district.
Although I had been employed in the school district. So that's why I say it's a hidden gem, because a lot of people don't know all of the great things that are happening at East Elementary. The community of East know, but people throughout Jackson don't know all the great things that are going on.
And the hope is that this podcast, our monthly newspaper, the Superintendent Chronicle, these communications will help the community know about the special things that are going on at East Elementary. Dr. Brabham, when most people think about extracurricular activities, they think about sports at the high school level. Maybe they think about band at the high school level. But there are also things in place at the elementary school level for students to be engaged and really connect. Talk about that, if you would.
Our fine arts department is amazing. We have great fine arts teachers. Our music teacher, Miss Ashley Roark, our art teacher, Miss Carruthers, Sarah Carruthers, our PE teacher, Miss Kelly Hale. We have awesome. Our librarian, Allison Scruggs, are just phenomenal teachers. They not only make learning fun, but they also help our teachers enhance student learning, which is great because we think that fine arts is vital for our students' overall growth and well-being. Our music department every year puts on a Christmas musical and a spring musical so that our kids and parents can come together and see our students perform. It's always a very exciting time when we do that. Our art department, we participate in our showcases that the district puts on every year. So it's just exciting.
We're visiting with Dr. Amanda Brabham. She's principal at East Elementary School. East is a level 5 school and a reward school. That means they've been honored by the Tennessee Department of Education for the academic progress that they are making. And so, again, we want to say congratulations.
Thank you so much.
For that. I'm thinking back to last year, when they were preparing for the spring showcase, I got to come out and visit Miss Roark and her students.
Yes.
It was fun. Not only was it fun to watch, but she had to take the students from where they were talent-wise and singing and get them to where not only they could perform at a higher level, but be comfortable performing at a high level. I was very impressed.
Yes, I'm always impressed with her whenever I go, visit her classroom. She teaches not only, voice, but she also teaches music notes, and a lot of music teachers don't do that at the elementary level, but she teaches students how to read music which is awesome.
Dr. Brabham, you have a very strong PTO.
Yes.
The parents of East Elementary are very engaged in what's going on there on campus.
Yes.
There may be parents listening to this podcast, and maybe the PTO at their child's school is not very active.
Mhm.
Put into words the benefit and the importance of an active PTO, and why a parent out there listening
Mhm.
may want to take that up as a cause or a hobby
Yeah.
or a passion.
Mhm. The benefits of having parent involvement in a child's education, I mean, you really can't even put into words. It's just that vital. When students know that parents are there for them, they perform better. Parents are the first teachers, and we need parents to be involved in their child's education to help teachers. When parents are involved, students do perform better. That's scientific fact.
Dr. Brabham, I want you thinking back on your time at JCM.
Mhm.
Again, you've been an educator for a while. You're a principal now.
Mhm.
You were an assistant principal at one time. You were a coach at one time. I know there were two students we were talking in particular that kind of came to mind, and Devondre Williamson was one of those
Yes,
students. Talk
yes,
about Devondre.
yes. I remember him from JCM. He's one of those students that just stood out from everyone else, not only because of his height, because he was very tall, but because, of his overall character. Very good kid. We knew that there was something in him that set him apart from other students.
Mhm.
And teachers at JCM during that time, they really rallied around this kid,
Mhm.
to help him be successful. So yeah, he really does stand out to me because we knew there was something special about him.
He went on to the Naval Academy, majored
Yes.
in engineering. I think he's a lieutenant now on a submarine.
Mhm.
So
Right,
yeah,
right,
that support
right.
was vital. And then I know there was a former player of yours at
Mhm.
JCM
Yes,
who is
yes.
now an educator.
Yes, Deidre Robertson is. And I think that's the responsibility of all educators to see the best in our students. All of our students have something inside of them that's worth fighting for, as I mentioned earlier. And, it's our responsibility to do that, so that we can help them be successful in life.
People try to get me to brag on my own kids, my own children, and I'm kind of hesitant to do that. But I'm going to ask you,
Yes.
your own children who are products of the Jackson-Madison County school system.
Yes.
And I think it's a very cool story and a testament that both of them went to college.
Yes.
Like their parents,
Mhm.
they use the military to
Mhm.
help facilitate success in their individual careers.
Mhm.
Tell us about your own children
Yeah.
and what they're doing today.
Yes. My daughter is a graduate of JCM.
Mhm.
She attended ROTC at JCM, and she went on to the University of Memphis, majored in nursing, got a nursing degree, and now she's a Navy nurse. She's an officer in the Navy as a Navy nurse. My son as well attended Madison Academics. He went on to ROTC at the University of Memphis, and now he is also an officer in the Air Force. So we are extremely proud of them. And yes, they are products of the Jackson-Madison County school system.
A couple of things. Mama and daddy didn't have to pay for it.
No, they both got full rise, college paid for.
But it's also a testament not only to teachers and coaches pouring into them, but also what you and your husband did. And
Right,
I think it's
exactly.
beautiful. And the fact that they both chose to go the
Yes.
military route,
Mhm.
that's awesome. Let me final comment, if you would, Dr. Brabham,
Mhm.
because there will be some high school students that will hear this, particularly because our next guest will be some of their friends.
Okay.
The importance of taking advantage of these paths to higher education. The Tennessee Promise was not around when you or I were in high
No,
school.
was not.
The military, for a lot of students, was that path to higher education.
Mhm.
Just in your own words, talking to these students about the importance of taking advantage of the Tennessee Promise,
Mhm.
dual enrollment to the Tennessee College of Applied Technology, whether it's college or career, just the advantage, the importance of taking advantage of these opportunities.
Extremely important because this is an opportunity for students with the dual enrollment to already have college credits before they even really step foot or actually enroll into a college. And just being aware of what's out there, to help them be successful, and taking advantage of it, because it is important. Just knowing what's out there. Talking to counselors so that counselors can help them along those paths, and choosing what's appropriate for them, what they think is best for them. Yeah, very important.
Dr. Amanda Brabham, principal at East Elementary, Coach B to those she coached previously. Dr. Brabham, thank you for your time on the podcast today. Thank you for your leadership, and just thank you for what you mean, not only to East Elementary, but for the Jackson-Madison County School System.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored.
Stay with us. There's more when we return to the JMCSS podcast for the district.
The Jackson-Madison County School System is in need of bus drivers. Do you or someone you know have a passion for educating the children of our city? The Jackson-Madison County School System would love to have you join the team as a bus driver. Linda Thomas came out of retirement to help transport our children.
A lot of the bus drivers I know are real good people. They're dedicated. You know, they love their job too, or they wouldn't be here.
You too can help get the children of our city to and from school safely. You can find out more about becoming a bus driver at jmcss.org.
Hi, I'm Vinny, a star student at East Elementary. You're watching For the District. Now back to the show.
Welcome back to For the District, the JMCSS podcast. We're joined this morning by Dr. Amanda Brabham, principal at East Elementary, but also virtually, we will hop on the bus to visit with a pair of Northside graduates. Constance Robinson is a freshman at the University of Memphis. She is a music major, and she is in the band at the University of Memphis. And to Cameron DeMoss, Bethel University, he's a nursing major, and he's also playing football. Connie, Cameron, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Connie, let me start with you. Here's a fun question. What's something you know now that you wish someone would have told you while you were still in high school?
Probably how they do assignments in college. Because here it's like, instead of doing a week of work and then having a test and then having a big unit test, it's just, here's all this work and have it all in by the unit test in 2 months. It's like, I have to adapt to how I'm studying for all of this. And yeah.
Cameron, how would you answer that question? Tackle that question for us. Something you wish someone had told you that you know now, but wish you were told while you were still in high school.
Since I'm playing football, to have a calendar to make sure you know what you have to do so you won't forget anything, because the way in college, they give you assignments. They don't remind you or nothing because you're on your own. They make sure you get them done by yourself, really.
So it sounds like I'm hearing both of you say time management, learning that time management is critical.
Yes,
So-
Awesome. That's something we can share with students and teachers. Constance, what's a typical day like for you at the University of Memphis?
Well, I wake up around 7 a.m. because I have 8 a.m. classes every single day. And it's it's not a back-to-back classes, and I have time in between a few classes, but it's wake up, go to class, maybe come back to the room, eat, and then go to classes, go to practices, study, practice a little bit more, and then go to sleep and do it all again the next day.
Cameron, tackle that question. What's a typical day like for you at Bethel University?
Okay, I'm going to give you a Monday. I wake up at about 4:30 because I have to go lift at 5 o'clock. Then I go to the cafe and eat around 7. Then I have 4 classes. I have 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 12 and 1. Then I have meetings at around 3 o'clock. Then I have a walkthrough right after. Then I go study and do whatever I have to do in my free time and get up the next day ready to do it again.
Constance, tell us about your major. Again, if you're just now joining us, we're checking up on our graduates, 2 Northside graduates. Constance Robinson is a music major, and she's in the band at the University of Memphis. And to Cameron DeMoss, he's a football player at Bethel University. He is majoring in nursing. Constance, let's see, I'm on question number 3. Tell us about your major. How did you decide on that career field?
Well, I didn't really know what I wanted to do when I first entered high school, but I knew I was in the band and I loved playing music. And luckily I had a lot of really good directors to help me in that, and I realized that's what I love to do. And Miss Woodland, my assistant director, actually gave me lessons, which I had never had before. And I loved being in lessons. I loved the one-on-one and learning difficult music. So I was like, okay, I like doing this. This is something I can see myself doing in the future. And so I went to governor's school, which is basically what it would be like in college, but you're in high school. And I loved it there. And so I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. And U of M kind of just, it felt like the right place to come and do that for me.
That is awesome. DeCameron, talk about deciding to major in nursing.
My half my family is really on my dad's side nurses or RN, so I've been around them basically all my life. This kind of persuaded me to want to be with a nurse when I get older and get done with football, really.
And I need to go back and thank you for being
Yes.
with us, Cameron, because you got it at 4:30 this morning. Wow. That's wild. Wow. 4:30. Our producer, Luke, played football at Lambeth, so I'm sure he sympathizes with you. Constance, looking back on your time at Northside, and you mentioned the assistant band director, and there may be others. Looking back on your time at Northside, what were some of the pivotal conversations or experiences you had that prepared you for the workload and the challenges you have now?
Miss Woodland and Mr. Nobles, I told them that I wanted to be a music major, and they immediately brought me in the office and was like, okay, do you know what you're saying when you say, do you want to be a music major? And I was like, I think I know what I'm saying. And it was like, that's 2 hours of practice every single day, nonstop practicing by yourself and with the band. And you're going to have to, it's going to be a lot of work. And they basically just talked me through all of the stuff I would have to do. And when I kind of realized this what was happening and I came to terms with it, that's kind of when I was like, okay, this is something I can do and I'm willing to do. So those conversations with them kind of helped out a lot of what to expect.
Cameron, thinking back to high school, were there any pivotal conversations or experiences that prepared you for where you are today?
Talking with my high school sport coaches, they'll tell me that high school and college is two different things when it comes to sports. And I can see that now. And just being more outgoing and not being scared to speak up to each other.
DeCameron, I'll stay with you for this next question. What do you like most about Bethel University?
I like the atmosphere. I thought it was going to be not all that because it's a small town, but I've been here about 3 months and I'm starting to love it.
Constance, what do you like most about the University of Memphis?
I would also say the atmosphere and the school spirit and how everybody kind of lifts you up, even though they might not know you. They're kind of rooting for you and what you're doing.
I think Dr. Brabham has a question for you too.
What advice would you give elementary students? I'm an elementary principal, and I know you have advice for maybe high school and middle school students, but what advice would you give to an elementary school student?
Do you take that one, Connie?
Work hard. College might seem far away, high school might seem far away, but if you get into the habit of paying attention in school, listening to your teachers, doing what you're supposed to do, it'll be a lot easier when you get older and start doing the harder work.
DeCameron, advice for elementary school students?
Listen to your teacher. Don't talk back, and you're going to be fine, really. Just got to make sure you stay close with them.
I need to tell that to my son, who's a 4th grader. Can you tell him to not talk back to me? Is that? Hey, okay, so that's for elementary school, but thinking about students who may be getting ready to enter high school, or students who are getting ready to graduate, where you guys were a year ago, what advice do you have for those students? Constance?
I would say, depending on where you are in the process, get your ACT score up. You can get some good money with ACT scores. And also just be organized with where you're going, what scholarships you want to do, and just don't get cluttered and frustrated with everything. Take your time, go slow, and just work through it.
Cameron, advice for yourself a year ago. What advice would you give to Cameron, if we could jump in a time machine, what advice would you give yourself?
Stay on your grades and don't get sidetracked really. And so apply to colleges earlier, like when school starts, and don't say you'll do it later because you're not gonna do it later.
Hey, Connie, a song you've learned that you enjoy since you've been at the University of Memphis. They're playing music.
A song I've learned. We actually, because I'm in the Mighty Sound of the South marching band, we play Vegas, but the Doja Cat version. And I love playing it. It's the most fun thing to play ever, especially while I'm marching. So I would say that one.
Now to Cameron, I know you're just a freshman, but you're getting to travel with the team. I'm sure there's probably a junior or senior that you look up to there on the football team. Who right now is your role model there on campus?
His name is Von Burris. He's actually my suite mate. And when I got here, he took me under his wing, and we just been close ever since.
Awesome. Final question, guys. Is there anything I didn't ask you that you want to say, whether it's a shout out to a former teacher, a former classmate, maybe something in particular about your university? Is there anything I didn't ask you, Constance, that you want to say?
I mentioned her before. Shout out to Ms. Woodland, because she literally brought me through all of it and got me here. So shout out to her. Shout out to Mr. Nobles as well, because he was also a part of that. And shout out to my mom. She helped me with it. She dealt with me through all of it. So, yeah.
Cameron.
Shout out to my parents, really, because I wouldn't be here without them, and all my coaches, and even my coach here, Coach Jasper. He's been talking to me a lot, and I've been learning. And we're undefeated. We have homecoming next week at 1:00. So if you guys are free, you guys should come out and enjoy the show.
That is awesome.
Yes.
Constance Robinson, University of Memphis, a music major, and to Cameron DeMoss, Bethel University, majoring in nursing and playing football. Hey, listen, we are so proud of both of you.
Yes.
Would you want to encourage you? Finish the job. Finish the job. We're proud of you, and thank you for taking the time out to join us today on For the District.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This has been episode 6 of For the District for Dr. Brabham, for our 2 young alums. I'm Greg Hammond saying have a great day, and we will see you next week.